What's up, everyone? Kane here, captain of the Day's Pirates, and thank you for joining me back on the Trail to Laughtail. We're going to be doing some ranked sim gameplay. We're going to open it with a little bit different than usual. We're actually going to go through some Treasure Cup results over the past couple weeks. There's been multiple top 32 lists, and we're going to break down some of those lists, talk about the results, and kind of the deck dispersion in these events. And then I'll take some of these lists out for a spin. I have already gotten up to the top 100 on the ranked sim, so we are hopefully going to end higher than this, but we'll see how the games go with a variety of different lists here. But this is probably not probably this was the highest placing list, was 11th place. A variety of these have been 8 and 2. Every list that I'm going to show today has been 8 and 2. Before we go into the specific list, I did just kind of type out some of the data from these sets. I'm sure you're familiar with Igman events. I did just take some of these numbers and just put them in a spreadsheet so I can look at them. Um, Across the board, Doflamingo, the most represented deck across basically the last 2 weekends. There's been a North America Treasure Cup and a European Treasure Cup. And these have been kind of the deck inclusions, and I also had the top 32 on the second sheet here. So Doflamingo's been the most represented for the most part. Purple Luffy's been the second most represented. Shanks overtook him in one of these events, but otherwise he's been the second. Then Black Yellow Luffy's been fourth, and Rob Lucci and Teach have been kind of anchoring for Black as the next couple decks. And then actually RP Luffy sneaks in here, then Bonnie and some other variety ones. Any of these other categories, I think, depending on the data available, it may have cut off at 10 or less reps. So like Boa Hancock did top in one of these events. I think it was this event. Foxy also topped in this event, but overall for our RP Luffy, we did have about 30%, or I'm sorry, 30, roughly 40 RP Luffy players, and it looks like with some of the success in Europe, we did get an uptick of them, so I do love to see that. But 4% or so of the field, depending on what event you're looking at specifically. Um, I'm fine with that. I love having that kind of advantage of not seeing a ton of mirrors and having a little bit of a rogue aspect to it. But I do love seeing the deck have results too. Across the events, I did kind of just put RP Luffy at the top for convenience. In that first event, there was four in the top 32, two in the top 16, one top 16 for NA, two in the top 32, one in the top 16 last weekend for EU, and one in the top 16 again for uh, NA as well. So we do have all of these lists, and then again, kind of across some of the other lists that have been performing well, to no surprise, Doflamingo, and then Purple Luffy and Black Yellow Luffy, as well as Teach. It's worth noting that in the past weekend, Teach did do quite a bit better. So that's something to kind of be aware of or think about as well. But to pivot over into the list, I should have taken slightly better notes on which a list was in which event exactly, but I'll break down some of them that I know off the top of my head. So like Saichu did actually top 32 in both weekends, last weekend and the first weekend of February. They slightly altered their list coming into this new weekend. So they had this list the first weekend, a Shanks top end, 9 cost Luffy, Lin. Four Beckmans is interesting. I know not everyone's on Beckman. I personally love them, so I like to see this. This is very intriguing to me. And then he did cut Zoro Juro. That is something to be kind of noting or kind of point out. Instead of Zoro Juro, he's running four lead performer disasters and two It's to Die For. This tells me that they all probably also want to. I don't know any of these people personally, so I'm just trying to be vague. Um, I don't know if they directly want to go second per se, um, but I'm assuming they don't really want. They're always wanting to go second. They go 4 cost of ramp into 7 cost Beckman ideally or Kid, and then Shanks at the top end with 10. I would imagine if you have the Shanks. He's only on two of them, but that's epic. In this same event, there was another couple people in the top. I want to say, I know this was the one top in the first event. This was this top. They got 15th, and they were running a Shanks Yasop 5 cost Luffy, one It's to Die For, and back on Zoro Juro. No new gates, again, worth noting. And they were also running Onami and Queen. So three Onami for this whole package and two Radical Beams. And then one of the 5-cost unblockable Loopies. Then in the other event, this was in the same event as Zaichu went 11th, Krolzor went 14th, and they also went 7-3 last weekend. So I put them a little bit lower with breakers, but they did go 7-3, making some slight alterations off this list. But they are still on Zorojuros, two lead performers, all rush, and then four new gates or four kids in Rayleigh instead of Queen. I was talking to them a little bit in the RP Luffy discussion, and they just really like Rayleigh as kind of a tech for early aggression for Dofi from Dofi, which makes a ton of sense to me. And they also have a couple extra 2Ks here for Franasoke. In that same event, I want to say it was this list was also, is this the exact same list? Oh, wait a second. I didn't notice that. So I wonder if they know each other at all, or maybe they just land on the exact same list. But I think Tadon was in the same event and went 8-2 as well with the exact same core. Or maybe it was the following weekend. Maybe I'm misremembering that. I apologize if so. And then Mike D. Pope was also the last individual in that same EU event. That was the four here with a slightly different list. Still Linlin, one Newgate, and then Shanks at the top end, and then also two more Brulés. So interesting there. And a lot of the other things are looking very similar. Cut down on the queens a little bit. So a couple extra ramp while cycling out some of their other blockers kind of for that. And then one 9-cost Luffy as well, which is kind of interesting. Going into the following weekend, Zaichu did slightly adjust their list. They did go down to two kids, one Sanji, and a third it's to die for. Then also split this radical beam out into Gum Gum Jet Gatling, added this Franasoke, and otherwise the list is still very much similar. They're still on 18 bricks, which to me, I'm not gonna lie to you, it blows my mind. 18 is a lot of cards with no counter in the late game. With the Linlins, with the Giants, I understand that they cycle out. I'm not surprised that they added a Jet Gatling into this later part of this, because there's a lot of bricks, quite frankly. But again, they've obviously put results up 2 weeks in a row, though. So mad respect, absolutely love it. And then actually in this second event here, Desi 91 actually used Zaichu's list from last weekend. I mean, I'm assuming they kind of looked at it or saw that and used a similar list. And again, went 8-2. So there's obviously something to this. I'm going to take this into for some spins through the ranked games that we show today. But yeah, they adjusted, or they just really copy pasted and did the exact same thing and did very well. I will shout out one person that did go 8-2 is not top 32 was Chili Flicks. He did actually beat Zaichu in round 10, and he's actually one of my Discord guys. So we talk a lot about the deck list and different thought processes and decisions. And they ran a list with three new gates, and then Dragons, one Shanks, one Roger, one Luffy, one it's to die for, and then just a mid-game package and some searchable extra counters. So great for them as well. Their one loss was both their losses were to Doflamencos. That did pretty well. And then they did beat Zaichu in round 10. And they said Zaichu may have misplayed slightly, but it just is what it is. And two 9-cost Luffy's there for him. The list that I did not touch on was actually that is all of them, because then in the second week, top 32 RP Luffy was, oh shit, maybe that was Tadon. I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm slightly messing this up. I had the places right. It's just what event they was in. I'm kind of getting foggy on. But we're gonna take out a couple of these lists. Over the past week or two, and since seeing some of these lists top, I have made some adjustments to my current list. This is where I'm at this exact moment. I'm kind of toying with some different searchable one-ofs. I do want to get Linlin back in the list. I was testing Linlin last week with some success too, and we'll see it in some of the games today. But yeah, I absolutely love seeing RP Luffy topping. I think there's a lot of viability to the deck. And I think there's this opens a broader conversation. I know Kai's put out a video on this as well around how RP Luffy can very much be tailored to your comfortability and how you like to play and what matchups you want to win. So I am working on a video, or I'm going to start working on a video to talk about deck building in general and how you need to build in your own mentality into how you make these decisions while evaluating how every other deck list works, right? Especially for RP Luffy. Some of the more cookie to cutter lists do have a little bit more, direct, these 40 to 45 cards maybe should be played. But within that, how do you embrace tech choices? What matchups are you trying to overcome? How are you approaching your locals, or are you playing in these treasure cups that are 10 rounds, like a very exhausting day, quite frankly? So I want to make a longer winded video around that. And then we do also have the Black Yellow Luffy matchup guide coming, as well as some other content. I might try and do a stream this week with either maybe some GP Luffy testing or else be some more RP Luffy testing, maybe working in some more Shanks into my list. But I'll kind of specify which list I am as I'm playing as I go into this. I think I'm going to start with I choose list after they've made some adjustments from last weekend. But it still makes me nervous, so I might not be on this for the entire video. So we'll see. But game one, we'll jump into it. And we lead off with a favored matchup here. So I guess we take those. I think key maybe ramp into Shanks, right? That's the plan. I don't know. I think against like a more aggressive matchup, I'm sending that back, but 4 bricks in our first hand here is kind of comedic, if you ask me. All right. Well, we're taking that. I don't think I'm gonna care about the Bon Clay when I can draw a card. Who's gonna do that? Oh my gosh. Is he gonna play Lucky Roo? Yeah. Kinda wanna cycle this, but I kinda want to also swing in. If I do this, go in like that. Actually, this is what I'll do. Here, 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 here. They need to fucking cycle some of these bricks out of their hand. You know what? Against Shanks, I'm gonna greed it just a tiny bit. Fine. I'm just gonna jam out of Shanks. Fuck it. Fucking 2K. Oh, gonna do this. Right. That's the ability to restabilize with Flynn after the Shanks is quite nice. If you do get kind of gunned down on your Shanks turn. That's not very nice. Two, because then it's gonna be 13, so. Yeah, we might be cooked. Okay, finally. I have to swing this way because like he can just Red Hawk. Yeah, he's in Red Hawk anyways. Because he just Red Hawks everything else so easily. Probably just blocks again. Here, 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 here. Don't have it? Fuck me. Good. 2K? Lose the game? Alright, let's do another one. Alright, we get to run the rematch. I'm gonna try and go second again. Gonna mulligan. Looks like a normal hand. Maybe I should have just not kept the first one. Maybe I'm bad for keeping that last one. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna take the cycle again into another brick, surely. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I did just not play great the last one. I guess it's easier, if I'm all then, but I don't know. Now we just go here, here. Got 7, he has nothing on board. Oh, my bad. Oh, that's not the worst. Oh yeah, 7K later. Wait a second. I guess we just yam it. It's a little annoying. I'm not even gonna have it down up after I Shanks next turn because I'm at 7. Has to hit that. We can't swing. That's nice. I'll swing at that first. It's kind of funny. Either way, he gets a 2K out of me. Because if I counter that, he just taps this to kill it. So the question is, this is 8, this is 6. I think I go like this. See what he does. He took that. Okay. 8 to face. Leader effect 2 and 1. So now we go here, and we can clear here, or we can take a life. Let's clear. Okay. Crackback's mean. No 2K. No 2K. Kinda gotta find lethal here, huh? Oh. And I could go for that, try and bait out, and hope for 10, 10, 12. If he has a Red Hawk, which presumably he does, I can't reliably play through a kid. The question is if I just want to swing bigger and harder. You have 22 plus 6 is 28 is 38. So I mean what? That could be 12, 12, 13. No, it'd be 12, 12, 12, 14. Oh, fucking no. Let's see what he does with this. So what's the difference if I go 7, get leader effect and a 2K or the Red Hawk, then 10, 11. Because my worry here is if I go 12, it's leader effect to 11, Red Hawk, it plus 2 cards. Or it's 2 cards, or Red Hawk, or 2K, and then 10, 10. I'm gonna try this. I don't know why. Maybe this is wrong. Tell me if the comments if I'm garbage. Let's get this. We get out the 2K. Alright, boys, we might be cooked. I might be wrong. Alright, I had bad manners. Well, if I'm trying to not die all of a sudden, we go like this, 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 and pray. Giant into giant into giant. And that's a GG. 2K, 1K, 2K coming out live. Maybe Maybe I need to not be jamming out the Shanks as aggressively. Like I'm just trying to play it because I have it. I think I need to, but I don't know. I just hate not being like it's best early, but jamming it out sometimes feels awful. I don't know. We're on another one. I'm gonna stick with the list. I gotta be playing wrong. I guess this is the episode of Shanks on Shanks violence. Like that makes sense to keep. Oh, okay. We'll take this one. No trigger. Lead for forward. We actually got some counter this time, so that's reassuring. Again, we're gonna go Kid into stuff. Kid into Luffy, I guess. Again, Kid into Luffy though does not set up a favorable Shanks curve. I don't know. I'm bad. I have to be the problem. I at least have counter to cover my ass for the next couple turns, but like, yeah, okay. Look here. Probably another fucking 9. Cool, very fun. This one, yep, guess we gave you a 2 and 1, right? Here, here. Um, kind of tempted to swing into the, but I'm not going to yet. I'm not going to at all, actually. I spend the 9 down turn, downing up again, then that's good for me. I'll take the slay. Yep, I mean, at least I guess it's the die 4 can be pitched to giant or queen. Ideally, I'll top deck another top end piece. I guess this is the turn I want to top deck. Nope, not my 7. Man. Okay. 9-9 again. Punk as it. We'll take that one. There's Shanks. Too bad I'll get massively punished if I play him next turn. Oh, pitch counter almost makes it okay. If I do play Shanks and play board, is that bad? Feels kind of bad. If I swing into that, he could just trash into that instead. If I swing to that, it's going to be an 8k base. If I just play out the Shanks, I'll be a 7k leader with a pitch counter and a 2k. Okay. Sequencing with kids is what makes that funny too. Usually be able to hold that, but not for kid. I hope this doesn't go terribly. This is such a natural curve, but like, shields down again. If he just dons, it gives me some hope. Wow, he has to give 2 down to Marco to get there, which is good. Maybe I do squeak out a turn here. 6 is left. That's 8. That might be a blocker. There's nothing rush that could come there, so maybe I shouldn't have countered that. Because I don't have Usahachi if he blockers here. Oh, right, his leader. Yeah, had I not countered that, he just goes 6 on, huh? There it goes, though. Oh. We hit another Red Hawk ally. One, two, three, four, 5. That's 7. That's no Red Hawk. 15. Alright. Okay. Well, that was a better showing. This is a matchup we're supposed to dominate. We're 1 and 2, but alright. Let's go next. Oh, we got Purple Luffy now. This is one matchup that I think some of the people in Discord were saying Shanks is not feeling quite as good into, I think. But here we got a chance to turbo ramp into it. So, and back it with a Linlin, so we might have something. They grabbed a Luffy Taro. So next turn they're gonna Luffy Taro Sangoro, obviously. For us, that means this is best case. And I think unless we rip a 7 drop, we just lead performer next turn. Okay, we got 2 cards out already, that's good. Do not mind that. No, we'll keep that. This is where oh, that's weird. But like, if I play this, I can't. Shanks. I think I wanted to cycle this card. I was saying Beckman would be pretty good. What if I just lead performer again to draw another card? Maybe that was not the best, but it was a line of play. I think he's gonna take this one. No. I think we're shaping up in pretty good spot for this game, maybe. Now that we ramped 3 times, I guess that's pretty good. Interesting curve. Hey there. Okay, there. We're at 10, so we can even giant and get away with it relatively. Oh no. Now I don't want to fucking play. Oh god, this is not going great after all. Okay. I think I'm gonna play a Linlin next turn, or fuck. But then if I play a Linlin, then Mr. Two swings for 9. Fuck. Oh. If I Linlin next turn, though, I can have 2 giants up. Same thing with. Fucking A, man. I think I go here. We are cooked. So cooked. Maybe we can Linlin next turn and stabilize off it. That might be just about our only hope. And that means we need to only do 1 giant. It didn't matter if I swung the Sangora last turn because he blocked either way. Oh, goodness. Um, 17 sucks. Bro. Even the revised list with the Jet Gatling and all that. Fuck, man. Oh, I don't even have a 2K for this. I think I take the card. But he's not going to swing the Mr. 2, which would kind of be odd. It's kind of odd he hasn't, right? Oh. Okay, well, we got a Radical Beam for next turn. Or this turn. Fuck me. Yo, want a Radical Beam if the Mr. 2 swings. Oh, it doesn't, thank God. Any world where we don't just 9 mom? No. Wait, do we what? Is there a winning line? What if we 9 cost the Luffy? No. I think we maybe can put the Bon Clay at bottom life though, maybe. Here, bottom, here, here. Um, um, there's a chance. If I take this, 9 plus 8 is 17. Fuck it. All the counter I can get using 4 on that also just fucks me. So that's run the fade. It'd be funny if he blockered up, but I think he's deciding how to kill me. Oh, there's one better than the other. The next one's probably going to be 9 either way. I think this is better. Or I guess had I done this first, I may have had a 2K. I did. Oh, I could have cycled again. That's why I giant first. Probably doesn't matter. I mean, if I giant out of that last one, I then giant out of this one, and either way, I'm cooked actually. Because then I have no Don, and there's another giant. Yeah, doesn't matter. I didn't leave enough Don open. But we never had a shot in hell. With just everything that we had. I don't know. Newgate being able to kind of like grind out and interact with these blockers and Mr. Twos and things still felt pretty good for me. But yeah, let's run probably one more with this list, and maybe that'll be the video, or maybe we'll do some alterations, do some other things. All right, I think we should be pretty damn good until now with this list. No ramp and no searchable ramp, but we do have 11 ramp cards to see. I'm gonna keep it. There's so much ramp in the deck. I'll see something. I wouldn't have seen it for 2 turns. So let's grab a 2K. We want them at 3 anyways. Can I play out a Sanji next turn? Hey, ramp. Um, I'm short of that. Doesn't matter for that. I'm gonna just poke in for my 1. I like to get him at 3, keep him at 3 anyways. So I'm just gonna take 1 right now. No. Technically, like a Raigo trigger could have KO'd Sanji, so that's kind of why I took the 1 poke there, but I don't know. Okay, so now we can start setting up bodies. Sure. Right now, Yamato can KO some shit, which is a little annoying. But I do think we just... I could Beckman the Gadatsu. He's going to Yamato something next turn. No, I want to be big. I want to kill on borders, so let's do that and go. Yeah, I thought he was gonna do that. And then I guess we'll just do this. Okay. Um, do we just do that? Or do that and that? I'm gonna do cycle. Shit. I guess that. Because then I want to play this. Got another Yamato? Punk ass. That's just so dumb. Three of us, right? Okay, so it's on my body out. That's funny. It's actually annoying, but. Oh, you're actually gonna do something now. Proceed. Hang on. You turn Yamato sideways or not? Pick a card. Um, no block, no here and here. Holy fuck! This song and music and matchup is putting me to sleep. Oh wow! We're gonna lose this matchup in 7 minutes. Counter for it. It's not that hard. I don't mind if you don't, but anyone that's paying attention would probably know. So just do that. Heck, yeah, we're probably pretty fucked. I guess that makes sense. Yeah, let's fuck this one up. Oh, second one. Oh, that's not what I was thinking. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Nice. Ah, fucking clap. Could have won that turn, but didn't. Um, House is a guaranteed loss unless 1, 2, 3, 4. What's this? Maybe I could have done one more on her, but again, it didn't really matter. That's tough because if I kind of push a little bit more aggressively early to chip them down on life to deny Yamato value, then they just get ace value and they just rush with ace. So it's yeah, pretty fucking annoying is what it is. But well played by them. And we'll maybe call the video there. Um, I think I think the list is not for me. Um, I do think 1 or 2 ramp events makes a ton of sense. But 6 and 7 pains me individually. And I think that does go into again just kind of your mindset and what frustrations might bother you throughout the day. Like, I mean, obviously they went 8 and 2 with this list, so they got there. But how irritated are you going to be if you giant into 2 bricks, and how is that going to play into you playing the next round, right? So I think those are some things to think about. I do think Shanks does have a lot of viability, um, but I think I'm probably going to revert more back to the list that I enjoy just a little bit more, um, for me personally. So again, some more matchup guides to come, and then a lot more kind of thought process and scenario. And I want to get a little bit more intentional and scripted with some of my videos that I'm putting out for y'all. So we're gonna cut this together, and this will be Trail to Laugh Tale 4. I guess let's double check here. I think I probably had to have dropped off the top 100. Yeah, it's not updated my number, but 98 has 2.9, so we fell out of the top 100. Maybe just some bad breaks. Maybe pilot issues. Maybe I just don't know how to play Shanks very well, so you guys can dice me up in the comments and tell me how to do it better. But I appreciate you checking it out. Days Pirates Discord, we're talking about everything One Piece, but RP Luffy is our baby, obviously. And if you like the content, please subscribe. A lot more coming.